In the name of Allah, the most compassionate and most merciful, dear student, respected Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I am conveying my greetings and best wishes to everyone. Hope that everyone is fine and healthy along with your daily life's activity. Today we are discussing about the subjects of sociology. The topic is Introduction to Culture, and that is the lecture number 20. Let me thanks once again God Almighty Allah for being fine and healthy. Today we will be discussing about the topics that is named cultures. امروز ما در مورد فرهنگ یا کلچر گپ میزنیم که فرهنگ یا کلچر چی معنا داره، چی تعریفشان چی هستند، چی مفهوم داره، چند نوع فرهنگ یا کلچر ما داریم، آن اجزای کلچر چی هستند و مشخصات یک کلچر چی هست. امروز در مورد تعارف به کلچر ما شما بحث میکنیم. So we are talking about that culture is man's social heritage. فرهنگ یک میراث اجتماعی انسان است. Anything that has been transmitted from the past and handed down by traditions, which has been transmitted to communicate, that is to carry our ideas, thought and feeling from one person to another so that they are understood. It is called cultures. Culture tells man what to do, what not to do, and how to do things. فرهنگ برای ما شما این میآموزه که ما چی کار انجام بدیم، چی کار انجام ندیم و چطوری کارا انجام بدیم. این سوالات را کلچر یا فرهنگ جواب میده. یعنی کدام کارهایی که در فرهنگ ما شما درست نیست انجام ندیم، کدام کارهایی که در فرهنگ ما شما درست است انجام بدیم. اما کاری که ما انجام بدیم چطور کار انجام بدیم، چی نوع باید انجام کار صورت بگیرد، این اما در مورد کلچر است که ما شما امروز سرشان بحث میکنیم. هر نظری که، هر مفهومی که، هر ایده‌ای که از یک نفر به نفر دیگر انتقال می شود و او یک باز در زندگی خود من حیث یک استفاده از یک چیز می کند که بالای او باز حرکت می کند، مطابق او زندگی می کند، اصول مراعات می کند، خوب و بد را می شناسایی می کند، خوب را انجام می ده، بد را انجام نمی ده. خب این چیزایی که ما می‌آموزیم اینمی به نام کلچر یاد می شود. کلچر represent the design for living. طرح و دیزاین زندگی که اصل فرهنگ است. طبعا معلوم می شود بر ما شما چیزی که طرح‌ریزی بندگی هستند، طرح‌ریزی انسان هستند در که زندگی آنها با خاطر خودش که طرح‌ریزی کرده، دیزاین کرده و بودباش میکند و نمونه ما کلچر میگیم. Man culture is unique to man. فرهنگ مرد تا مرد، فرد تا فرد فرق میکنه. But culture varies and society differs. اما قسم ما از یک جامعه امروز جامعه دیگر هم در تفاوت‌های زیادی دارد در لحاظ فرهنگ. Culture is closely associated with civilizations. بسیار نزدیک است به امروز civilizations. No human society can exist and develop without cultures. هیچ جامعه انسانی بدون از رشد و انکشاف فرهنگ پیشرفت کردن نمیتواند. So that's why we say that no human society can exist and develop without its culture. So this is an important point. Now, the main difference between the animals and human society is of culture only. یگانه فرق میان جامعه انسانی و جامعه حیوانی این هستند که فرق میکنیم ما توسط کلچر. Culture is an integral part of our life. مهمترین بخش زندگی ما و شما که است او کلچر است. It shapes our behavior just as we also shape our cultures. However, it is important to remember that culture are never finished products. هیچ وقت خلاص نمیشه. هیچ تولیدی خلاص نشدنی نیست. They keep up changing and evolving, and new elements are constantly added, deleted, expanded, and rearranged in them, which makes culture a dynamic, functioning unit. So many things are being added by the passage of time to the cultures. Many things are being added. So many things are being deleted, which is not relevant so much to the norms of the and values of the cultures, as well as so many other program has been expanded and that is rearranged. So this is what we are doing, that is called a culture. So meaning and definition of cultures. When we are defining about the culture, that what does it means, the concept of a culture, what it is. So itself we are talking about regarding the culture that is derived from the Latin word of cultus or colere. So the meaning of these two Latin words, cultus or colere, the meaning of these two are care or cultivations. When we want to take care of some things, or when we want to cultivate something, that later on or next time we will get the benefits of that cultivated fields. So that's why culture is, the meaning of culture is cultivations, or that is to care. Different sociologists has differently defined the term culture, customs, and any other capabilities and habits that is being acquired by human or by a man as a member of a societies. So any type of habits, and as long as any type of capabilities and habits which is obtained or acquired by a man who is a member of society, to follow all these memberships of them in a society and as well as in a real life day to day. So that is called what? Culture. Another social scientist, he defined the culture that man-made part of environment is called culture. So man-made part of environment. چهارطرافی که چهارطراف انسان در اوج زندگی میکند، انسانی را ساخته، این نویر ما کلچر میگیم. So culture is the way of life which is transmitted from generation to generations. کلچر میگه طرز زندگی هستند که از یک نسل به نسل بعدی انتقال می‌یابد. So culture is what the thing that is being transformed from one generation to another. Maybe there is some addition, maybe there is some subtractions. So that is called what? That is called cultures. So there are some major components of cultures. ما یک چند بزرگترین ترکیب و اجزای فرهنگ را داریم که that is social norms که در اوج folkways, mores or lazma and fashion, faith and grace, while second is ideas in which beliefs and value comes. In the third one, that is material things, whatever you see in surrounding, that comes in your material cultures. So as we talked about that cultures, one of the components of a culture that is we are talking about today is left behind from all kind of academic activities. So these social norms, idea and materials are the major components of the cultures. Now, what are the social norms which comes as a component of the cultures? So what is social norms? So social norm is components of the culture. So now we are defining what the culture it is and social norm is it. These are group expectation or guidelines that people are supposed to follow in their relationships. Very clear message, very clear example. Social norm, these are group expectations or guideline that people are supposed to follow in their relationships. These guides are model of behavior which tells what is proper or improper, or what is appropriate or inappropriate, what is right or wrong in a given situation. For example, norms of conduct for doctor, teacher, student, mother and fathers. So this is called social norms. So whatever you see in surrounding area outside your home, so many of the government municipality people are trying just to clean the environment and clean the area. So there are social norms. Why they should have to clean this social norms? What is the reason behind this? So there we are learning that what is proper to be done, what is improper to be done. So what is proper to do, what is improper not to do. So such thing comes in the category of social norms. And we are learning all these norms through the discussion with each other that one should come into a life example for showing or giving the social norms. Sanction is another part that also comes after the social norm. That sanction is a system of giving rewards and punishment to encourage socially acceptable behavior and to control or to confirm or behave in ways that is prescribed for them to follow. Whether that is language, folk, mores, law, fashion, fair and grace, it all comes in the social norms. So sanction is also a system of giving of reward to somebody if something has happened good to him, or is giving a punishment to the person who has violated the laws and social norms. So these things are being given in society in order to socially get approval or gets acceptable behavior to perform, to confirm or behave in many prescribed way in order to follow them. Material things, it also comes as the components of the culture. These refer to concrete and tangible things that man creates and uses. It's quite easy examples, it's quite easy passage that what is material things? All those things that refers to concentrate in thoughts about all those tangible items and tangible items and things that man creates and uses, that is called material things. So material things are the components of culture. Language, a set of symbol used to assign and communicate meaning, a way of signaling identity with one culture groups and different from other, is a social product, and it is not a creation of an individuals. So what is norms? The agreed upon expected populations, the agreed upon expectation and rules by which a culture guides the behavior of its member in given situations. So what is norms? These are the agreed upon expectation and rules. قوانینی قبول شده ای که ما شما از اون توقعات خاصی را داریم که ما بتانیم خالیگاه این را پر بکنیم و یک چیز را به دست بیاریم تا ما بتانیم در جامعه امو فعالیت های اقتصادی را پلی بکنیم. من حیثی که چند از رفیقای ما در جامعه هر کسی که از زندگی میکند، رفیقای ما باشد، خودگی ما باشد، باید این نورمز جامعه را در نظر گرفته زندگی را به پیش ببرد. اگر خدا خواسته چند اشخاصی بیخبر باشد از نورمز of that society، باز او جامعه امروز بسیار مشکلات رو برو می شود. به این خاطر در هندوستان هم کسانی که مصاب به یک تکلیف می باشد، یک مشکل می باشد، هر جامعه که در هر جایی که باشد، معمولا اگر ما مثال هندوستان بتیم، در آنجا بعضی نرم‌های وجود دارد که افراد دیگری که داخل او ساحه می شود باید از او پیروی بکند تا که احترام به مذهبشان شود. به این خاطر بسیاری چیزهایی که در اونجا با اساس توافق با میان میاد که شما با اساس توافق میان که آمده این کار انجام بدین، این کار انجام نمیدیم، این نرم‌های زندگی درست است، این نرم‌های زندگی نادرست است، چیزی که درست است پیش ببرین، چیزی که نادرست است او را از بین ببریم. خود نورمز نمو فعالیت هایی که از ما جامعه توقعش دارد او را ما نورمز میگیم. So norms is also one of the components of the cultures. Now characteristics of cultures. مشخصات یک کلچر چی است؟ فرهنگ همیشه culture is learn. فرهنگ همیشه ما میآموزیم. در حالی که ما اگر بیخبر باشیم یک چیز را نیاموزیم، این به دیگران چطور انتقال بکنیم؟ به این خاطر ما کلچریست میگیم که لرن آموزش گرفته میتونه. اطفالی که به دنیا میاد هیچ نمیفهمه، در حالی که وقتی کم ذره کلان شد باز میفهمه که ما به چیز رد داریم، چی کار شاید انجام بدیم، چی کار انجام ندیم. So به این خاطر ما میاموزیم. Culture is learned. Most of the behavior is learned in society. همیشه برخورد ما فیزیکی در جامعه که هستن او را ما میاموزیم. This learning might be conscious or unconscious, but nobody can deny the process of learning. The uniformity of culture in a society is a clear examples. Mostly the same patterns of culture prevail among the members of society, and culture is something learned and acquired as, for example, wearing of clothes or dancing. It is not something natural to the person, but it's learning. People are learning about how to clothe, and it means that what sort of clothing they have to use, as well as, for example, in some religious and non-religious society there are some other program which can be learned as a part of their cultures. یعنی کلچر یا فرهنگ آموزش گرفته می شود. And culture is social. It's a group product developed by many persons interacting in a group and as a result of accumulation of knowledge and group expectation. کلچر که از مفهوم اجتماعی هستند که همه ما شما در اجتماع که جامعه که زندگی میکنیم با جامعه و که زندگی میکنیم به شکل اجتماعی را قبول کردیم که فرهنگ چی است، طبقاً چی مشتمل است، چی فعالیت‌هایشان هستند و چی کاری باید ما به خاطر رشد این فرهنگ هر چیز زودتر باشه اون را ما کسب بکنیم و به دیگران هم این را برسانیم. So culture is not an individual concept. این یک مفهوم یک فرد نیست، این یک مفهوم جامعه است. به خاطر میگیم که it is a group product, so which is developed by many persons interacting in a group and as a result of accumulation of knowledge and group expectations. So culture is not an individual concept, but on the other hand, it is a social concept. ما گفتیم که یک مفهوم فردی نیست، یک مفهوم اجتماعی است. در فکر هر انسان موجودیت فرهنگ می باشد که با اساس اون بازو فعالیت‌های خود را انجام میده. and culture is transmitted امی قسم فرهنگ انتقال می شود از یک نسل به نسل بعدی از طوری که برای ما از دیگران مانده ما به دیگران و نسل بعدی رو انتقال میدیم که چی کاری خالد اعضای فامیل انجام بده چی انجام نده چی درست است چی نادرست است. So culture is transmitted انتقال میشه. All the culture traits and objects transmitted among the members of society continually. Most of the culture traits and materials are transmitted to the member of society from their forefather. Learning and transmission process maintains continuity in culture. Learning and transmission take place both from contemporary and other generations. From our contemporary, for instance, we learn a new fashion, how to move in society and how to behave in a particular social situations. Culture is ever changing. Culture در حالت تغییر است. نمیمانه. چیزی اضافه میشه، چیزی از او حذف میشه. So culture is ever changing. Culture is never remain static. هیچ وقت ثابت نمیمانه. But it's changing. It's designed in every society در هر جامعه culture که اصلا فرق میکنه. But with different speed and causes, it constantly undergoes change and adapts itself to the environment. While next is culture is linked with past. Culture امرای گذشته ارتباط داشته باشد. So culture is communicated and transmitted from one generation to the next. It has link with the past because it has come from the past. Without past, culture would not have been survived. Cultures preserve those features of the past which are of the eternal nature. It discards what has been socially condemned. That is, preserving past is the quality of human society, but therefore it is not found in animal but in the human societies. ما میگیم که فرهنگ امرای گذشته ارتباط داره. هر چیزی که ما میآموزیم، هر چیزی که ما آموزش گرفتیم، این برای ما از گذشته مانده. پس ما او را تقریبا ما او را از خود کردیم. چیزایی که در گذشته بود امروز که او را انتقال داریم. یعنی کلچر امرای گذشته چی داره؟ کلچر امرای گذشته لینک داشته می باشد. یعنی چیزی که در گذشته بود او انتقال شده به نسل امروزی، از امروزی نسل به نسل بعدی انتقال می شد. پس ما میگیم هر چیزی که ما آموزش میگیریم، آموزش گرفتیم، این از طریق ترانسمیشن صورت گرفته انتقال شده از ما. این که از چی وسیله انتقال می شود، این خودی مسئولیتی اونموی داره هستند کدام که می خواهد این حوزه تحقیق و ریسرچ بکند. به این خاطر ما میگیم که از چیزی که در گذشته درست بود، خب امروز هم شاید درست باشد، ما او را پیش میبریم. چیزهایی که در گذشته نادرست بود، انتقالش مهم بسیار آسان نبود، نه تو یک شرایطی که به این خاطر ما میگیم که هر چیزی که از گذشته مانده برای ما، او را ما به حاضر یا حال ربط میتیم و امکانی باشد که ما به آینده او هم انتقال بیابیم تا حاضر امرای گذشته ارتباط خاص را داشته باشد. So this is about the cultures that is linked with the parts. At the same time, culture is cumulative. Culture is not a matter of a month or year. این مسئله فرهنگ مسئله یک سال و یک روزه و یک هفته نیست، یک روز. It is transmitted from one generation to the next. The new elements are added up as the needs arise. Discovery and invention bring new culture traits. Many culture traits are borrowed from outside culture. All these traits are found suitable to culture. They are absorbed. So this process of accumulation goes for indefinite time. So we say culture is not a matter of one day that is going to be finished. No, it's not a matter of a year that is going to be finished. While it will remain forever until the person is until the person it is until the person is alive. It means culture is not مسئله یک روز نیست که ما در مورد کلچر گپ بزنیم و ختم شود، لیکن این با سالها و با ماها دور دراز می شود که در مورد کلچر و فرهنگ ما گپ بزنیم. So this was about today's lecture. The remaining lecture will be discussed in the coming classes.